Welcome to another episode of Meeting Local Biz with Helen. And I have the pleasure today of meeting with my good friend Daniel Boone. And yes, that is his real name. He's the owner of HB Wellness here in North Scottsdale. And this is a really great high energy smoothie shop with protein shakes that 50 flavors, right, Daniel? Over 50.
Well, now we have like over 75.
Oh my gosh. And they're chock full of nutrients and vitamins, and just it's a really great place for atmosphere and
yeah,
a really good shake. Yeah. So Daniel, what inspired you to start this business?
That's a great question. So I believe that as the population is aging, are we talking on the camera?
You can talk however
I think as the population is aging, there's like three main areas that are a big concern for people to voluntarily spend their money, and that's food, right, travel, and health. Mm-hmm. So those areas where we live longer, so we want to be healthier, and so I thought, well, what could I do that I like to do that also can really help people and good for them? So the smoothies, which sounds crazy, and we're in an odd place, but it works.
Right. But you've been here for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, this October 2023. Well, 2022 will be 10 years this October.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. It flies by, right?
Right.
So we do healthy smoothies. That's primarily what we do. We do other supplements and things like that. But the smoothies are awesome. They're all under 250 calories, and they have they're under 25 grams of protein, a little bit of fiber, a little bit of about 11 net carbs, 11 grams of fruit sugar. But the most amazing thing is when people try them, they're like ice cream. Oh. They're just like, wait a minute, I don't taste protein.
What are your, like, a couple of the favorite flavors?
So
they're kind of odd, aren't they?
Yeah, we have over 75, which is a lot to choose from, a little overwhelming. So when people come in, we tell them the top 10, and the top 10 are in this area. They're the number one is just banana cream pie, which is killer. Banana caramel is amazing. Coffee ice cream is really good. Tastes like ice cream, and there's no caffeine in it. Mint chocolate chip ice cream, birthday cake is amazing. You add a little butterscotch flavoring to it. It's incredible. Wow. If you like peanut butter, the white chocolate Reese's is phenomenal. Another one we call chocolate Elvas, which is chocolate, banana, and peanut butter. All the fruit that we use is organic except for bananas. So blueberry cheesecake is phenomenal. Strawberry cheesecake is amazing. Those would be in the top. Eggo waffle, had to throw that one in there.
Oh my gosh!
And there's some very unique flavors, but they taste amazing. And the interesting thing is, when people start with one, they just don't change from that one. Even though we handle different samples and things like that, it takes a while before they'll be like, yeah, but I really like this, and well, this tastes good too. And
so, what do you think people would say is the most fun or exciting thing about coming here? What do they like the most?
I think the biggest thing is I believe that people buy ice cream from who scoops it. And so one thing that, I have probably 25 kids here, and they all have to rise to the occasion. They have to be better than every place else, which the bar is so low today. If you just say hi to somebody when you walk into a place, you've already beat everybody else, right? So it's important that everybody who works here, they have to step out of their comfort zone if they're not comfortable talking to people, and then they have to say hi. And we put your name on a cup for a reason, not just because we identify who you are when you get your cup. I mean, call the name, but we will remember that. And the kids are really good at remembering names. And when you write it down a few times, it's amazing. And the number one word that everybody on the planet wants to hear more than anything else is their name. Everybody wants to hear their name. And when you say that, there's a connection, when you say, hey Dave, how you doing? You got the same thing, white chocolate Reese's with peanut butter and sprinkles and all that. And they like that, just like you would and I would. I mean, because of that, you'll drive farther. You'll go to a different place that remembers you when you walk in. Yeah. And there's less and less and less of that now with technology. And there's less and less because I think people are just getting so much into not even knowing how to communicate. It's sad.
Well, what do you do to help motivate your employees? And
I beat
keep
them. No, I'm just kidding.
keep
I,
them enthused about
I'm
coming
not,
to work every day, because that's a thing too.
yeah. I don't micromanage. I don't have a manager either. Everybody here works like a beehive, and I tell them up front that you have to, as long as you can play well with others, you can be here. And we have out of 25 employees, we have one boy, and the rest are girls. And the boy's been here for I think almost 4 years now.
And they're all fairly young, right?
Yeah, the ages will be, well, our youngest, which is rare, was at 13 because she was phenomenal. She's 15 now. Typically, I don't hire 15-year-olds. There's no law against anything. You can do that in Arizona. It's just that they don't have very many skills. They just don't have these life skills. So that's rare. Usually
high
at
school
16
students, though, right?
Yeah, most of them will be 16 to 21 on average. So the 21-year-olds and the 20s and the 19-year-olds that are out of high school, they're the morning crew because they're in college maybe 2 days a week and they can work 3 days a week and so on. Occasionally we'll get a homeschooled person, and then they can also work mornings. And then high school kids, seniors will come in noon, and then the sophomores and juniors and freshmen, they'll come in from 3 o'clock on and weekends. So, and they, if someone doesn't play well with others, and we know right away. I mean, when they come in, we give them a 2-day training. We know in literally 30 minutes if they're good. And if they fit, and they come in, and it's a great place to work. I mean, you're off at 6 o'clock at night. They were on weekends. Saturday you get off at 4 o'clock and Sunday at 3. So to be in high school and to be off at 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and you don't come home smelling like a hamburger, and they get tips and they make really good money. It's tips. They get good tips. They get great tips. We have a very loyal following, and we have a really good group of customers. And I don't really think of
it's a community.
Yeah.
So
I don't really think of
what
them
do
as
you
customers.
love the most about this area? So we're just north of Scottsdale Airport.
Yeah, we're right on.
World is just that way a little bit.
Yeah.
So what do you love about this area the most?
I would say there's a lot of, it's a great question too. There's a lot of, there is probably a little bit more wealth than a few other areas. And that's a two-edged sword. Sometimes people hit different sides of that is the best way to put it. But what I love about this area is that there's so many people who are, they value their health, and they understand that it's important to take care of the health. And
there's
a
lot of gyms around here too, so you feel that's a community-wide sort of environment.
And we're not at all expensive to facilitate good health. Like you would think that a lot of people may think, oh, you have to have money to have good health. Well, not necessarily. There's a lot of good things you can eat that are very inexpensive. It's just that some of the things they eat that are inexpensive are not as good. And it's not just diet, and it's not just exercise. There's a lot of parts to that puzzle.
Right.
There's people who work out all the time, and they eat very well, and they drop dead of a heart attack. What was the big runner, it's like, there's just a lot more to it.
You can right. There's a lot of pieces.
But I love the area. I grew up in Arizona. I was born and raised in Arizona. I love Arizona. I love the heat. July is a little hard. I would say, when you walk out, it's like 180 degrees on the pavement. I'm going, that's a little bit too much. But other than that, I love the sunshine. I think the sun's very, very good for you. And I think when people get outside, they're happier too. Everybody, when they walk outside, sometimes they're like, oh my God, the sun just feels good.
Yeah. So here in Arizona, that's the majority of the time, thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, if you like sun and you like warm, and I love it. And
there's nothing better than a cold smoothie on a hot day.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah. And we do healthy teas. And
that's a plug for you.
Yeah. Well, that's a good plug. Thank you. Thank you.
So what are your goals for the next year?
The goals for the next year, we're developing new lines that are much cleaner and much better, because there's a lot of people.
Ingredients?
I'm talking about ingredients and things that we add.
Recipes?
Both. What makes us different than everybody else so far, for the most part, is I created our own line of organic puddings. The puddings are stevia sweetened and sugar free, and those would be like the birthday cake flavor and the caramel flavor, and
So
that little bit of a
in
flavoring.
addition to the shakes, you have
Right.
pudding.
So we'll
I didn't
put
know
those
that.
in. Well, we call it a dry pudding, and so we'll put those into the flavors, and that's why you go, oh my God, this tastes so good, and why it tastes not overly sweet, but it has a sweetness to it, and so that's one of the big things. And we're always coming up with new lines and new flavors, and it's
So you
fun.
got something big coming. So
We really do.
need to stay tuned.
You'll have to come back.
We need to come visit.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to come back.
Within 6
Well,
months.
thank you so much for taking the time with me
You're
today.
welcome.
And Meeting Local Biz is all about supporting local businesses and each other.
Mm-hmm.
More now than ever, it's become so much more important. So if you know anybody who would like to have their business featured, if you know anybody who would like to have their business featured on my community website, please reach out to me. My number is 602-463-2809. And as always, if you need anything real estate related, I'm happy to meet with you, answer any questions you have, help you in any way. My website is helenofhomes.com, and we'll see you next time. Have a beautiful day. Thanks, Daniel.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.